Did you know that you can dip directly over Gel X nails? What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. We are doing this beautiful mani today, and I'm going to show you exactly how I dip over Gel X nails, and then we're going to do some really easy stamping nail art. So the first thing you want to do after your Gel X nails are all on, and you've prepped your cuticles, you want to make sure that they are clean of anything on them. And I don't mean wash your hands. So what I do here is I use a dehydrator that I got from OG Dip Powder, and it really makes sure that it cleanses that whole nail and that there's nothing left on it. Then I go directly in with a really thin layer of dip base over my entire nail, and I cap the edges. These steps here are going to be things that I like to do right off the start to make sure that my dip adheres really, really well. Now, one thing that I didn't show in this video that I'm not showing is that before I went and applied the dehydrator, I roughed up the surface of the Gel X nail, like just with a buffing block, because you want to get that shine off. The shine really makes the full cover tip slick, and if you want your product to adhere better to it, you can either take a buffing block to the entire top of the full cover tip like I did, or you can just use a hand file. I would just use like a 180 or 240 grit hand file to make sure that you're not filing way down into your tip. So let's talk about the actual dip powder application and how that changes because you already have your full cover tip on. Once you have the dip base down as that first thin layer, you let it fully dry before you go and start dipping. That just helps the dip adhere overall better. Some people I know skip that step, but for me, I actually do that with both full covers and builder gel. I find that it just really helps the dip to stick. So you already have your apex built with the full cover tip. That means that you get to skip some steps when you're dipping. If you didn't have your apex built with the full cover tip or builder gel or something underneath, you would have to build that apex with clear dip powder or even the color dip powders. Okay, if you're wondering like, what is the apex? What does that even mean? How does that help your nails? So the apex is the highest point on your nails, and it provides strength and stability to your nails, especially as they get longer. So with this kind of length that I have, it's not super long, but it's long enough that you need strength. And I applied these full cover tips with builder gel, so my apex, that strength, was already built in. If you don't do that, what you can do is you use clear dip powder as your base, and you do 2 to 3 layers. And basically, like, your first layer would be a landing strip. It's just a thin strip that goes about halfway down your nail. Then your second layer would be about 3/4 down your nail and cover a little bit more of the nail plate. And then your third through fourth, fifth dips would be covering your entire nail plate. And then your last dip would be clear dip powder. So I get to skip the first couple steps and just go straight to the dips that are all the way back to your cuticle, which is great. And you want to wear your nails a lot longer. This is the method that you want to use. All right, so let's talk about dip powder application, how you actually apply the powder down onto your nails. The dip base is what you're going to apply it with, and whenever you're using dip base, you want to keep it as thin as possible. It's better to have a higher number of thin layers than a lower number of thick layers. And thick layers tend to lead to chipping and cracking, which we definitely don't want to happen because we've already spent all this time getting our Gel X nails to look beautiful. We want our dip to look beautiful as well. When you go to pull the dip base brush out of the bottle, you're going to remove most of the dip base off that brush so that what you're applying to your nail is just going to be a thin layer. If you left too much of the dip base on the dip brush, then your nails are going to be a lot thicker. And another way that I like to help keep my nails thinner is by pouring over the powder. So this powder that I'm using is a dark navy blue shimmer, and anytime I'm using shimmers or solids, I pour the powders over. Anytime that I'm using glitters, flakes, or foils, I lay my nail flat, and you'll see me with a fine glitter do that later, how I lay my nail flat onto the powder. But the best method for shimmers and solids is this pour over method. The two colors that I'm using today are La Push Baby, it's La Push, and the other one is called It's Like Diamonds, You're Beautiful. They are both from OG Dip Powder, part of a Twilight inspired collection, and the liquids that I'm using are from OG as well. So you can see me here getting into my clear dip powder after I've scrubbed off the excess of the navy blue. And anytime you're doing a layer of dip powder, as soon as it dries, then you can go in with a stiff nail brush and brush off any excess powder. That is also something that's going to help to keep your nails thinner and not so thick and bulky. Whenever I'm using a glitter, I am crazy messy. There's no way around it. Okay. If you've seen any of my videos, you know, I'm a really messy dipper. It is who I am. So what I like to do is I like to go through and do the clear dip powder over my solid or shimmer nails before I even go into the glitter or the flake or the foil, whatever I'm using. This way, my shimmer or my solid doesn't get contaminated with the other dips that I'm using. And I even go through, brush off the excess of the clear dip powder and activate it so that I am sure that I'm not going to mess up the color on my solid or my shimmer. Let's talk about how you apply glitters. And the one that I'm using today is a fine glitter. It is so gorgeous. I mean, the name has diamonds in it and it literally looks like you have tiny diamonds on your nail. The way that I like to apply the glitters is I like to lay my nail flat. So you can see me apply my dip base over the entire full cover tip, and then I lay my nail flat right onto the powder. And before I go and actually lay my nail, I like to shake it up a little bit. So I'm using these dip cups from SJ3 Designs. They are absolutely amazing for dipping your nails. I literally refuse to do my nails if I don't have them clean. I'm like, I'll wash them and do my nails another night. It's so nice that like they're flexible and you can kind of squeeze them together like to move the dip around. And if you know you're working with a big chunky glitter or a flake or a foil, then all that you do is you move the glitter, you shake it up and move the pieces around so that they get exactly where you want to go. Now this is a fine glitter that I'm working with, so it was a lot easier. I just give the little dip cup a shake and then I lay my nail flat like I did with the shimmer. I went in on my last dip and it's clear dip powder, and then I go in, brush off the excess and activate them. Now once your nails are fully hardened from the activator, then you can do your buffing, filing, and shaping. So activators take a little bit different times to actually harden. Some harden really fast and some take a lot longer. Some take 5 to 10 minutes, some harden your nails in a minute. The OG ones are about 5 minutes. If it's really warm, I notice that, it might take a few extra minutes, but luckily now where I do my nails in my nail room, it's always cold. I keep the air on even in the winter. So my nails harden like in about 5 minutes. Now, I like to go through with my really big flexible file that's basically like a giant buffing block, and I get my nails to be really smooth on top. If you did a nice application, you're not going to have to do much buffing. And then really what's left once you buff them smooth is to just go around and fix up your shape. So dip adds bulk to your nails. And what I like to do is take a hand file, just kind of fix up my shaping a little, make sure that it's even, make sure that, one area didn't get too much dip on it, or, like that I just like to crisp up my shape is what I call it. And then I go back through with my flexible file, did I miss anything? Did I make sure that the sides of my dip are curving down nicely? And this is my secret to getting my dip nails to have a beautiful cuticle lines that I do not keep secret. What I do is I actually take a bit from my e-file and I go around my cuticle lines to really give it that nice, beautiful curved line. I just cannot get nice cuticle lines with just dipping alone. I know some people can. I'm not one of them. I probably never will be. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not super particular. So I tend to rush through doing my nails, especially now that I've been doing them so long. I end up sometimes doing them a little wild. So using that e-file bit just helps me to get that beautiful cuticle line, and everything that I'm using in the video, I will make sure I link in the description. Now we get to starting on our stamping, and I absolutely love stamping. If you've been around and watched any of my videos, you know I have been stamping like crazy the past couple years once I figured out how. The first thing that you want to do is you want to clean your plate with pure acetone, not any that have any kind of fillers or anything in. You want pure 100% acetone. And that's going to make sure that your plate doesn't have any debris on it or anything else, so that when you go to apply your stamping polish and pick up the image, that you get a nice clean image. What I love about stamping is if you don't like how the image looks, just don't put it down in your nails. Try again. So you saw me try to pick up the image, and then I looked at it and little snowflake just looked weird. Like I missed part of the image, it was kind of squished. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna do it again. And that's what I love about stamping, that it's so much more forgiving with making mistakes, because you don't have to put the stamp down unless you like it. So let's not rush. We don't have to do rush stamping. There's no reason to speed through it. You don't have to, quick wipe, throw it onto your nail if you don't like the image. I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and tricks on ways that have made stamping so much easier in my life. So you want to have just enough polish to cover the image. You don't want to flood the plate with polish, and you don't want to put so little polish on that it doesn't cover the image. And that's something that takes a little bit of getting used to, about how much polish you really need to use. Then once your polish is over the image, you'll want to use your scraper at a 45-degree angle, and you can either scrape down or to the side is the ways that I typically like to scrape, because you're scraping that excess polish off, and then it leaves the polish just in the image. And you take your jelly stamper and roll over the image very gently in the opposite direction that you scraped. That was something that also was huge for me. Once I started rolling my stamper in the opposite image that I scraped, I was really able to pick up the image better. And when I used a gentle touch, I am not somebody who by nature has a gentle touch whatsoever, pretty much at anything I do in life. So learning how to be very gentle, rolling the stamper over the image, was something that took me quite a bit of time to learn. What's so great about doing the stamps this way is that you don't need any kind of base on your nails. You can literally just apply these stamps directly over your dip mani that has been activated, buffed, and shaped smooth. And that's all I do. So you'll see then how I'm able later in this video to use my dip top coating. It's a little trick that I picked up, that I actually figured out myself and that I use now and like to share with everybody. And let's say you're doing a stamp like I am, where it has a bunch of images on it. What happens when you pick up too many stamps around it and you don't want all that on your nail? No big deal. Just get some tape. I'm using masking tape that I just bought off Amazon, I think, or maybe it was even, at the grocery store, wherever. And you use the piece of tape and pick up any of the images that you don't want on your nail. You just pull them off gently with the tape, and then you can press the stamped image down onto your nail. Now you really want to make sure that you rock the jelly stamper back and forth on your nail to ensure that all of the image gets down onto your nail and that it doesn't get stuck still on the stamper. So something that is tricky too is you have to figure out the timing a little bit, and that you can't wait too long to apply the image onto your nail or it won't stick down. And all the stamping polish that I'm using here is actual stamping polish. Trying to use regular nail polish just doesn't tend to work as well. This is my secret to getting my stamps to work under dip top coat. So I just put over all my nails that are stamped, I put over Maniology's smudge free top coat, and I let it dry for about 10 minutes. 5 being the absolute minimum, but you have to make sure it is totally dry. So 5 minutes if you sit with your hands like in front of a fan or something. If you put the smudge-free top coat over, whatever brand you decide to use, and it's totally dry, then you can go in with your dip liquids and do your top coating steps like you normally would. So here I'm using OG Dip Powder's dip liquids. And the way that their dip liquids work is that you do one hand at a time, thumb to pinky heavy activator. So 2 passes of activator on each nail before moving to the next. And then you count to 10 when you get to your pinky, then go back in with the dip top coat starting on your thumb, doing 2 to 3 thin, even strokes that you want to float over the activator. So every brand's liquids that you use are going to be a little bit different. Make sure you follow those instructions. And with the OGs, you continue then to your pointer, then through pinky, doing 2 to 3 quick thin strokes, floating the brush over and making sure you cap your edges. That's going to give you longevity as well to really seal your mani in. And then as soon as you get to your pinky, you go back to your thumb and you do your second layer. And the second layer can be more detailed. It's the one that's going to give you that crazy, crazy shine that dip top coats give, especially if you're using a really good one like these. Now, if you're still struggling with Gel X and not ready to dip, then make sure you check out my next video and I will help you with how to do Gel X nails. Thanks for joining me today, nail crew.